This is Alec. No intro. Well, there's technically an intro, but then there's no music intro in the car. Learned that yesterday, and I was tempted. I'm not going to lie. By the way, good morning. Welcome to Drive Time with Alec. I'm Alec, and it's very good to see you on this whimsical Wednesday. You know, I was tempted to have this, and oh God, I'm crashing stuff in my car, sorry. I was tempted to do an entire drive time and have it just be an intro. Just music playing and me sitting there. Because that would have been ironic and funny. I didn't do that. Instead, you'll notice that I'm going right into content. Just right into it, you know? Just diving! Welcome to Whimsical Wednesdays. Now, Kristen, Bruce, told me to name Wednesdays whimsical, as in you're remembering things of the past. And I didn't think that the word whimsical meant that. And it just proves that I'm stupid. So there is a portion of the definition that means, you know, thinking back in the past and fondly remembering things. And I actually don't know if that's true, but she said it's true, so I'm believing her. I did not look it up, and that's what you get for just assuming what people say. Maybe you're right, maybe you're wrong, but here we are, and I have another story for you guys. Oh, God. Sorry, I almost crashed, but I didn't, because there's a brake, and I pushed it. So, today, I'm going to tell a story. I started as a salesperson right out of college because I think sales is the thing of life. I just love sales. I love salespeople. I love sales. I think it's awesome. It's stretching. It's horribly humiliating at times. I just think it is the bread of life. So, enough about sales. I started as a salesperson, and there was a goal to meet a certain production number throughout for your first year, or for your year, to go to this like a club trip thing, like this end of the year awesomeness. And I remember that I was a maniac that first year. I had no experience. I really didn't have much ability. I had knowledge. I learned everything I could know about the product and what I was selling, and I had enthusiasm. And what I learned was, well, let's just go back a little bit, because I'm not done with the story before I tell you what I learned. I was a maniac. I literally worked harder than anybody I could ever that was around me, period. I stayed up later, I studied harder, I was out in the field, I humiliated myself more often, which for those of you that know me know that is very, very difficult for me to do. I can humiliate myself all day long on this camera, because no one's really here. But when it's in front of people and I'm doing stuff, that's when it gets that... Ugh! Junior high comes flooding back in, and I turn into like the weirdest, insecure, saddest creature on the planet. So I just threw myself out there again and again and relentlessly again. And I'll tell you why. Because I looked back and someone was asking me, why did you do that? Or what motivated you? What did you know, how? And I saw it one way. I had collapsed everything in my life at that moment as only attainable through success in my current venture. Literally, my worldview was if I'm not successful here, it's all over, which is stupid. Not stupid, just not true. You could fail, and it's fine. I could have not made the trip and been hyper successful that first year, and it would have been fine. I would have been fine. But I had compressed everything: success, future security, my kids' college. I don't even thinking about kids. Everything it was like, this moment matters. And I look back and I realized, there was no way I had a chance of ever failing, because it was so lined up. It was like there was no branch of possibilities that I could do with my life, or that it was like, this has to happen or nothing else happens ever for me, ever. And wow, that helped me a lot. I was a crazy person, and I still am, but it was so, I killed it, and I had a great time doing it. And I remember at the President's Club, I was sitting there, and I had a Mai Tai, because it was on a beach in Hawaii, and I just started tearing up. I just started tearing up because I realized how much this had meant to me, and that I actually did it, and I just sat there with my family, and was like, tried not to cry, because men don't cry. And yeah, it was just so powerful. So on this Whimsical Wednesday, my thought for you to play with is the benefits and the problem of having that worldview I did in the origination period, when I was selling like a mad person. There's huge benefits. I was so maniacally focused on winning, on making the sale, on doing what is right. And I thank God I had a good base of integrity and a foundation and honesty and what I wanted to be like. So I didn't do anything dishonest or rip people off or anything crazy, but it pushed me so hard to achieve success. And the bad part, of course, is that it wasn't necessarily true. It just happened to be what my truth was at that time. So let me offer this up for you as we close out Whimsical Wednesdays. Right now you're going to work. You're doing a job in something. That means something. That means something for who you are and who you're going to be. It has eternal value in what you do today. And so, but people don't think that way. You don't think that way. We don't think that way. We just kind of putz around and stuff happens and it's like, well, it happened, and you don't really care. And that's the problem. And that's why success is fleeting for so many people, and that's why real value in contribution and work is fleeting, because it's not tied into an eternal worth. I'll end on this story. One more story, not about me. I read this online, and it's really cool. There was a young man, jogging one night, and he saw an old man in a wheelchair. And the old man was dirty and had like a gnarly beard and his legs clearly weren't working. And he looked probably like a Vietnam vet, if he had to guess. And the young man, saw him trying to get up a little tiny curb, that little curb where it like slopes down when you're coming off a crosswalk. He was trying to pop up over it, and he was struggling, and he looked pissed, and he was frustrated. And the kid ran over as he was on his jog, and he pushed him up the little step. And the guy looked at him with kind of a little bit of resentment, like, I could have done that on my own. And then he tells the guy, hey, why did you do that? I didn't need your help. And the young man responds, because I did not do it for you. I did it because I want to be the kind of man that does that kind of stuff for other people. I did it because that's who I am determined to become. See you tomorrow.